The American Dream, the surprise package, Kanakjar up against home hero Tomokazu Harimoto. Back to the women with two Chinese players, Chun Xingtong and a 2025 champions winner Wang Yidi. Then Truls Murugard against Wang Chuqin will be a blockbuster ending. Talking about blockbusters, let's get this party started.
Here at World Table Tennis, we smash boundaries. We push the limits of our sport and unleash the boundless potential of our athletes. We go beyond the norm, always surpassing expectations and forging an unforgettable legacy. World Table Tennis, the possibilities are endless. We are limitless. We are infinite. Welcome to the WTT Infinity Arena. Game on.
From China, Xunyao. From China, Yingsha.
The SHI show is in town, and what more is there to say about this woman who once again sets out to delight her legions of fans who are here in their numbers in Japan once again. A first ever meeting in international competition of these two 24-year-olds as they play best of 7, remember, format in this semi-final, the first of our semi-finals on our final day here, the 5th day of action in the Infinity Arena. So, a first international meeting, and in fact they have had meetings going all the way back to junior levels, and it's seen Xiaoxia emerge victorious. World ranking-wise, 14 places between them, but this feels like the era of the up-and-coming Chinese players. So who knows what might happen today. More on that very shortly, but first let's check in on our umpire, Yumiko Morukawa, who takes charge of this one. The players will get across to her, and then I'll be bringing in my co-commentator to build up to a matchup of semi-final that promises so very, very much.
Black wallet, you are red.
My goodness, if that's the noise level around a coin toss, what on earth are we in for a little bit later on? That's a question I'm asking not of myself, but of my co-commentator. Delighted to say that Fraser Riley is with us. He's very much in the zone here. Excited for this one, mate?
I'm so pumped, John. It's showtime, it's go time. It's the first match of finals day here in Yokohama, and what a week of table tennis it's been.
Let's have a little look at this player. What a story this one is. It's only her second ever WTT Champions event. She exited at the round of 32 on Champions Montpellier. However, she has made her way to this semi-final with some outstanding form. She beat Hana Goda comfortably, had to battle hard against Mima Ito. And how about that, Fraser? 4-0 against Kwaiman.
Ridiculous, yeah. It was juicy in the 5th against Ito, and she beat Kwaiman in straight games again after the final that they played against each other in Muscat this season. So very unexpected. Hats off to Xunyao to get into this stage.
What have we made of Xiaoxiao's form so far? We know how good she is. We know that she's already won 15 times on the WTT series stage. But we always look at her in the here and the now, and we have memories, of course, of her being upset in America. This is how she got here, dropping just one game, that against Honoka Hashimoto, the chopper, on the way to this semi-final.
The best chopper in the world as well.
Yeah.
What an incredible win. She beat her 11-1, but here's a look at the loss that she had at the United States Smash, John.
Yeah, and this is really the subplot that we're building, isn't it? These Chinese players who are on the up, they're knocking off some of the more established stars, and it was Chen Yi who did it against Yingsha. So it just goes to show that even Xiaoxia has to be on her game all the time, every time.
She really, really does. And remember, it was Wang Yi that eliminated Chen Yi at this event. That will be a rematch of the Yingsha final happening in our second women's singles semi-final.
Now, we've already seen victory for Xiaoxia on this stage, and talking about the stage, look at this fabulous setting. We were lucky enough to be down on the floor a little bit earlier on today, and this is such a special setting when the purple lights of WTT champions come to town. And we love it when the fans get involved. Well, Xiaoxia's got a few fans out there, and also anyone who objectively follows the sport knows that 84% tipping her to win makes an awful lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, she's imperious. She's been like a knife through butter, a player who's spent 160 consecutive weeks as the world #1 player.
And thank you for getting along to worldtabletennis.com and casting your vote. Carry on doing so throughout our semi-finals and finals today. It's a huge part of what we do, and we appreciate you. Enjoy this wherever you are.
She do some love all. One love.
As much as anything, Fraser, mental preparation will have been the key for this young woman, but she's been highly impressive in about how she's gone about her business this week so far. Sure.
She's been excellent, hasn't she, Xunyao? Really rising to the occasion here on her second WTT Champions appearance.
Love two.
Tidy start off her own service there, and now Xiaoxia looks to get going.
Nice third ball attack there from Xunyao. The physicality's been what's really, really impressed me. She was recovering so quickly against Kwaiman, moving so dynamically.
Love three.
But nothing phases Xiaoxia. She has moments in matches when, okay, things don't always go her way, but somehow or other she has this steely determination that sees her through. She's deceptive, isn't she?
She is. She's become a lot more crafty as well, and that's come with her experience.
And we have to remind you that even though we're billing this as an up-and-coming player against the established one, they're the same age, these two. And they've actually been meeting each other since 2015, I think the first time they had 3 encounters as juniors and cadets.
That's right, yep, 10 years ago at the China Junior and Cadet Open.
Five love.
But remarkably, of course, because one has gone on to become the world's best player, the other has had to bide her time. And boy, she's announcing herself now. 5-love in the first, and she's still serving.
Even though she's a rising star, there's pressure on Xunyao because there's players a lot younger than her that are rising up the ranks. We call it the constant conveyor belt of class.
You're so alliterative, aren't you? I love that one.
I'll do my best. Lovely flick from Xunyao. And she pins Xiaoxia into the crossover. Look at this for a start. She would have bitten your hand off to get this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, well, well.
Seven.
This is some start. Do you hear me at the start there? It's Mountain Day here in Japan. It's the newest of their public holidays. And I was thinking that she had a mountain to climb, she had to peak, all of those cliches. But so far, it's been very, very smooth for the outsider. But the underdog drops her first point of this semi-final, still with a very, very healthy lead. Best of 7, of course, so this one doesn't amount to a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, this game.
We saw how SHI turned it around after losing the first game to Honoka Hashimoto, 11-6. She so quickly adapts.
Yeah, and that in itself was one of the least surprising first game losses that you'll ever get against somebody with a unique style who's caused problems for Chinese players before, and she just adapted, adjusted, and went on to crush it in the end, didn't she?
Coming into that clash, Hashimoto had a 93% win rate against Team China Stars, which is absolutely astonishing.
Wow. And yet SHI won the final game, what, 11-1?
11-1.
That's nice. Drilled. She has a game plan, she's sticking to it, and looks laser focused. Xunyao.
Control play there from Yingsha. Long push, steady block. Looked so cavalier when she played that.
Steady. She has such a control over proceedings. But we're seeing a lot of great shots here. Just that lovely little flick, that little wrist action off the service receive from the 15th ranked player in the world. There's a lot of sneaky movement up the rankings, isn't there? I didn't realize she was high as 15 already.
Yeah, she's won a contender already. So Xunyao nearly 2.
9-4.
Finalist in Zagreb this year as well, right?
Exactly, yeah. She just lost to Satsuki Odo, who we saw SHI swipe aside in the last round.
Oh, yeah.
Xunyao is going for her 5th WTT senior title. SHI going for her 16th.
Oh my, she's gone for one there as well. A dismissive cross-table backhand there.
If looks could kill.
Was that a little look? She's in the zone. Game face on.
So that's what you're bringing, she says to Xunyao. What a switch. Oh, what feeling from Xunyao. That was absolutely impeccable. Her ability there to improvise, to adapt off that net cord and chop the ball was absolutely sensational, John.
And her reward is 5 game points for the first.
5-10.
That is just so difficult to do. This ball here. This has been a sensational start from the world number 15. Showing no imposter syndrome here so far.
Still game points.
Let 10-6.
You give SHI half a chance, and that's the inevitable result.
The touch was just a tad too high, and Yingsha leaps in with that perfectly timed forehand flick right through the back of the ball. So much acceleration on one foot there.
Oh my, what a way to close out the first game. She wins it to 7, and the world number 15 has shown that she's not intimidated in any way by the woman at the other end of that table. The world number 1, Yingsha, drops the first game in this semi-final. Long way to go just yet, but if you are looking to climb that mountain, well, that's a pretty good start by this woman. Let's look back at what these two have been serving up You know what, Fraser, you were describing this one. The adjustment by Xunyao was fabulous.
Both of them. Look at this for a point. Oh, wow. So much control there from Xunyao to play that forehand chop close to the table as well on a decent angle off of that net cord. That really impressed Yingsha. You could see there a hint of admiration in the eye of Sun.
So often you see it when it's come off the net cord, they look to just get it back anyhow, anyway, but she actually chose in that split second to play a chop, which was perfect.
And I didn't know she had that in her locker. Not in a match under pressure against the world #1 at a Champions event.
Well, we're off to a high caliber start to this one. We knew all along that today was going to be spectacular, but this one is setting the tone.
Second game, Sun to serve, love all.
It feels a bit hot today. Maybe it's just the occasion. You know, the last few days in Japan have seen sweltering record-breaking temperatures give way to a bit of rain and blustery conditions. Still hot, though, and it just feels warm here. Maybe it's just the atmosphere, the occasion.
We knew this would be a spicy and feisty matchup, but already a bit of an attitude adjustment here from Xunyao. What was it, 84% on the fan votes? Already, the Sun Yingsha fans, the Chateau fan club, having to do their bit.
One of the interesting things always in these events, when you get to the latter stages, and very often you find Team China players against one another, is the fact that they really do live in each other's pockets. As we know, working around these events, you might get in a lift and find that you're there with both players are about to play each other, or you see them hitting up on the practice tables. It brings an odd dynamic, doesn't it, to these head-to-head confrontations.
It makes it feel more unlikely that you'd see a straight games win. And that's what made Xunyao's win over Kwai Man yesterday just so amazing. Kwai Man, one of the informed players, now a top 5 star, the Singapore Smash finalist against Sun Yingsha this season. So Xunyao is in the form of her life.
It's a good point you make, because typically you characterize the upset as one of the big 4 or 5 of the Chinese women getting beaten. But actually, remember, Kwai Man's number 4. So that was a huge result yesterday.
A statement.
Xia looking sharp at the start of this one. Dropped the first game. She's 4-2 up in the second.
I'm amazed by the control of Sun Yingsha. Look how relaxed she remained here.
Yeah, because there was some serious heat coming her way, wasn't there?
The parallel forehand of Xunyao seemed to change the metric of the rally, but Sun used the pace coming in to her advantage to redirect. This is already a much better start here from Sun Yingsha. She went, what, 6-love down in the first game?
Let 2-4.
Yeah, 6-love, 7-1. It was always a game of catch-up. She can't dig that one out. Adjusted, Xunyao, but unable to find the playing surface.
She's played the push very well in this match, Sun Yingsha, changing between the long fast push into middle and then that one there into the temptation zone.
Now, this is always going to be the part of the match that challenges this woman in particular. Yeah, great bonus. Got the first game in the bag, but there's a long way to go from that point on.
Sun Yingsha has gears to her game. She's not actually playing with that much power now. She's adapted. She knew that she was outpowered in game one. Now she's slowing it down. Look at the kind of stroke she's playing. And then when she senses an opportunity, she pounces. Beautifully timed forehand counter to finish here. Two of them, in fact. That one even better, coming more around the side of the ball. Wow. Poetry in motion. She has the best forehand in the world, hands down, in the women's game.
There's a dilemma for the player who plays against Yingsha. You take the first game off her, you risk provoking her. Funny enough, we saw that with Wang Chuqin yesterday. Tagami takes a game off him, and then he blasted him from that point on. Look at this, 12 of the last 16 have gone the way of Xia now. Oh, she's at it.
It was red rag to a bull, that first game. Yingsha is putting Xunyao in her place.
But remember, this would only be the level at 1-1. There's a lot of table tennis left in this. And if she keeps on doing that, she's not going to go away. Beautiful down the line. Having invested so much in the forehand to recover and control that, that's a thing of beauty. But it's 7 game points to level things up now for the world #1.
Fantastic long fast serve from Yingsha, stamping through using a lot of waist rotation. So subtle, hard to anticipate.
That's comprehensively done. If you're going to come back, that's how you do it. She's always teaching us lessons. And that Xia 101 there, right? Okay, don't worry about losing the first game. She's very much in this match. We're collecting data now. We'll be able to look at some of the metrics at some point as this one goes on. But score-wise, we're tied up at 1s. As we take a break in Yokohama, let's just pause to look at the Roll of Honor for 2025. And you can see, going back to early in the year, the contender Muscat beating the woman to her left, so Xunyao the winner there. But here's Xia, here she comes. 1, 2 features there already early on in the year. And then, of course, as you see those who have won, is it going to be Xia's face that features? And, of course, a special guest, Adam Bobrow, sitting behind Marlin there, having a little snack by the looks of things. No coaches working with these players, Fraser, as always. They're going to have to do it themselves.
Yeah, we see Marlin there, the head coach of the women's team, sat to the right of Bro Bob.
1 love.
Going to have an inquiry about exactly what he was eating there and whether we get any of it.
Looked like a sweet potato from Lawson's.
Okay, thank you.
Love 2.
Third game. What's the dynamic here? Well, it's what we saw at the start of the first, which is a perfect service duo from the number 15th ranked player in the world, leading to that reaction from the number 1 ranked player. What does she do? Just do what she did early on, Fraser. I mean, Xia obviously going to be the factor in this, that she can turn up it to a notch that maybe no one can live with.
Well, throughout the last game, Yingsha was slowing down the pace with the backhand, playing spinnier balls, slower balls. Balls that were designed to stall Xunyao and balls that did so effectively. She's creating more juxtapositions with her backhand than Xunyao is doing with hers. So, what I would say is, Xunyao has to be more proactive, stepping in, probably with her forehand against those balls that Yingsha is playing.
3-2.
And I think that it's almost a bluff, because when you're such a powerful player and you play a soft one, it quite often makes the opponent panic.
Yep. Oh, that's beautifully played. Had a look at her position, Xia's, as she set up there, as you always do. And then once she took her wide, that just opened enough of the table up for Xunyao.
Clever combo.
There was no way anyone, even Xia, was getting across there. So that's the serve percentage, 66.6, which is really good. But then again, 60 ain't bad either for her opponent.
Ooh, nice push again from Yingsha, and Xunyao not able to contact the backhand as well as she would have hoped. Such a great short touch. It actually forced Xia to push. I feel like Xunyao was actually admiring her first shot.
Yeah. And then got one back that was so long. The push is the underrated workhorse of the player's equipment, isn't it? It's the one that's not showy, flashy, but it does so much building work, particularly for Xia, in terms of controlling points, right?
It's not just about flicking and getting into that open rally. You know, the push and then counter tactic is so good, because you can counter at a higher pace than you can play an opening spin shot. Oh, that's just dismissive.
How much of that is anticipation and how much execution?
I'd say they're 2 of 100 things that Yingsha did well there. And look at the reaction, just stone cold.
5-4.
Not the fans, though. They're loving this. Adulation raining down from those seats.
That was such a great transition between her backhand and her forehand.
5-0.
Little stamp of the feet. Frustration shown from Xunyao. 5-all.
She takes the lead here, Yingsha, with just a short serve.
She was going at 66%, so 2/3 of her serves were winning points already. And it looks as if she's maintaining that. Too good.
5-7.
Xunyao's done well to get a bat on that one, but look at the length on this.
Well, she played with so much grease, so much topspin there, Yingsha, and that was important, because if she plays a lower, more driven ball, it would be easier for Xunyao to block to the wide forehand, which Yingsha would risk exposing, taking her chances here, leaving nothing to chance. Oh, well, she snuck it past her, but I wouldn't say that that long serve had quite the desired effect.
It would be unfair to say she got away with them, because actually that was just a brilliant adjustment, wasn't it?
It was. but it's not an adjustment she'll get away with more often than not. She did ever so well to get that pushback. Yingsha just dug it so deep, so quick. Really jabbing into it.
Yeah, abbreviated that wrist movement through the ball. That's 2 consecutive shots she's created in a row there to draw herself back to 7-all in this 3rd game. And then more conventional, but equally effective as she takes the lead.
So 3 points on the bounce here from Xunyao. Look at her base, how wide it is. It gets her lower, gets her more balanced.
7-8.
But when she needs it, the Xunyao serve gives her what she wants.
Topspin pendulum serve into the middle of the table, and Xunyao was caught in 2 minds.
And that quite face reflects it, doesn't it? I like the fact she does give us a read, a little tell.
Yeah.
Every point.
Yeah, she's fairly demonstrative. Goodness me.
She's living with the best in the world there, staying with her and winning the point.
Now that for me is probably the most impressive thing that we've seen from her. The fact that she's managed to go toe-to-toe and actually beat Yingsha at Yingsha's game.
9-8.
You know, she was well back. She was into the backhand half and she still went for broke.
So we're seeing personality on show as well here then.
Real personality.
Not this time. Given the hurry up by Xunyao, and a little bit of anger in that one, you feel, given the previous point.
Look how quickly she springs into that backhand, Yingsha. All of that kinetic energy from Baby Buddha.
9-all, 1 apiece. It's a good one, this. Glad to have you with us here. It's semi-finals in this session from the Infinity Arena. And this is the first. Game point, Xunyao.
Well, I was wondering whether Yingsha would drop this game. It would have been the first time she would have dropped more than a game at this event in a single match. But look at this. Look how she finds the wiggle room.
Crucially, she's still got the ball in hand. Her service has been immense. And it does the job once again. You feel that's a hugely important game. Had it gone the way of the contender, well, maybe the dynamic in this would be different, but it just feels now as if Xunyao might be taking control. Having dropped the first, she's now won back-to-back games, and as she goes to sit down, she's heading in the right direction. So a little time for us to contemplate, to reflect. Likewise for the world #1. You can see the thoughts playing out on that face of Xunyao. Fraser, we're not surprised to see that she's got back in front. In terms of the game she's displaying, what's got her back in front?
Certainly the serve, where it all stems from. The serve is the most important shot in table tennis because it is the foundation, the scaffold of a rally. It helps you set up the third ball that you're looking for and limit the options of the opponent. And then it was, for me, the subtlety in her backhand play that did it for Yingsha in that last game.
So it comes down to the fine margins, because as we're seeing, when they trade, when they go toe-to-toe, Xunyao's got no problem with that.
She's very quick, she's very athletic, she's very powerful. Xia knows that, so Sun can get the advantage from being crafty, being subtle, constantly focusing on the variations.
Let love 1.
The shot that worries me about Shi here is her backhand against the push. Hasn't been quite at the level it needs to be.
Oh, well done, Xia. She was sent so wide early on in that exchange, but ends up controlling it.
That was drop dead gorgeous, wasn't it? How she got back into it with this backhand block. Goodness, she just looked completely unfazed. And she sinks the right knee down, gets lower than a snake's belly to counter that ball.
No flash, please. 1-0.
She was in a defensive position and she managed to really turn the tables there.
Yeah. Xia doing Xia things. That's what you're up against.
The perfectionist that she is, I doubt Xia will actually be that happy that it's taking her so many balls to win the rally.
Which is credit to this woman, of course, who's playing very, very well. But she's going to have to play even better to have any hope of reaching the final. Celebrates that, and that's good to see. She's got to maintain the positive body language, the positive intent here.
Every moment matters. The millions of balls she's hit over the course of her career have led to this moment here, her second Champions appearance. It's probably her biggest singles match to date.
We saw Satsuki-Odo, as you said earlier on, crumble really. You just saw the belief draining out of her. And in marked contrast to that, so Xunyao has to do completely the opposite. She has to somehow carry on believing in this semi-final.
It was a shame from the Japanese point of view to see the champion of the champions, Montpellier, completely battered by Yingsha. But yeah, Xunyao, I feel, has the second, third and fourth gears that she needs against Sun. Satsuki-Odo is a pocket rocket. She always wants to play powerfully, and it's too easy for Sun to take that away from her. Xunyao understands how to make some alterations in her game herself. Oh, this is nuts. This is absolutely mind-boggling. Look at that. Out of the crossover, and again. And nearly again.
Xia gave her it 3 times in a row, saying, yeah, okay, now have another. That's what she does. She just keeps coming.
And her ability to anticipate where Xunyao is going to go is something that you can easily forget. She's just always in position. She knows where it's going.
Her feet didn't move for that one. Feet didn't move for that one. She just reached and hooked.
Didn't have to, because the movement that she'd made before would cut off the angle, cut off the possibility of Xunyao playing anywhere else, really.
Wow. Just going back to the point you were making about Satsuki-Odo and what have you. 7, best of 7 is a journey. It has its peaks and its troughs, and these players, the very best of the Chinese, they understand that, don't they? In the latter stages. We saw that from Tong Tong yesterday. Not phased. You got best of 7. You got time to turn things around. The game will be nuanced, and there will be different stages and phases to it. They seem to understand that.
Usually the underdog has a better chance in a best of 5 because they require less games to win. And when you look at the big ones like the World Cup, the World Championships, which are best of 7s, all the way through, you see less upsets.
And of course, in our WTT series, when we get to best of 7 from the quarterfinals onwards, we see that similarly. Because just to win one game alone against the best in the world is something, but to get 4 of them,
you almost feel like that you need some kind of divine intervention, some kind of extraneous variable to help you on the day. They're that untouchable, the Chinese women. More untouchable than the men at the moment.
Yeah, speaking of which, we got a delightful setup in our men's semi-finals. Really compelling stuff coming along today. So stick with us all the way through here. WTT champions Yokohama 2025. We've got Kanak Jara against Tomokazu Haramoto in the men's. Truls Morgaard against Wong Chu Chin.
Time wasting.
Oh, a yellow. For time wasting.
Who's it for?
Stop.
Hasn't gone on to the score yet. Oh. Okay. And it's, yeah, it's for Xunyao.
Now, it's a bit of a grey area, this, because sometimes the server is trying to be polite, waiting for the receiver to be ready. Not quite sure about that call.
Well, at the end of it all, with the point dropped off that serve, it's 8-4 now for SHI, who quietly has moved into a dominant position here. You mentioned extraneous variables that you need if you're going to win, but actually that yellow card was one that the number 15 in the world could have done without as she goes about this seemingly mountainous task. Because right now, with 7 of the last 8 points won, SHI is turning on the heat.
Yeah, she's knocked the wind out of her sails.
And just like that, 6 game points to take a substantial lead now in this semi-final.
This will put her in pole position.
But there's fights in her rival yet. Couldn't have placed that any better if she'd walked over there and put the ball down.
Yeah, well said. Right in that corner.
She's still staring at 5 game points, though. Fight in her yet. And at the very least, she might want to sow a seed of doubt or two in SHI's mind. Take what she can here, Xunyao. Not this time. So that sense of inevitability is beginning to grow here inside the Infinity Arena. As SHI's fans know that they may well be celebrating another final appearance for their favorite, as she's now 3-1 up. It's ringing down from the seats here in this Infinity Arena. Yingsha, Xunyao, they go, and they're never shy. Look at this fan club. We've seen some amazing fan art, haven't we, Fraser?
We really have. She's the most followed player on the planet. It's not so often you're calling a 24-year-old a legend in a sport, already having won 2 World Championship singles titles and has finaled at 2 Olympic Games. Some of the younger players there.
Yeah, Kwaiman in the middle there, just listening in. And you would take, I would imagine, if you're one of the young Chinese players, every opportunity you can at a major event to sit in the room and watch the very best in the world go about their business. What a privileged position, as it is for these fans. It's fantastic to see so many people have come along all week long here in Yokohama. This event has captured the imagination, and hopefully all of you around the world have got a sense of that atmosphere through the images and the sound that we're bringing you. But in terms of the pure contest in front of us, Fraser, what's happening now? How does this go? It feels like it's only going one way.
Yeah, I'd, if I was a betting man, put my money here on Yingsha to close this, win this game, advance through in the matter of about 3 or 4 minutes. She's not one to take her foot off of the neck of the opponent once she gets into this kind of position.
So it's all now incumbent on Xunyao to produce something remarkable. Which is so hard to do in the face of that. You give her a chance, and you're right, she's ruthless.
She's playing with real purpose, and it's amazing that there's still things that she wants to achieve, that there's still the hunger there. You can't teach that, can you? You really can't teach that.
Great point. You see it in the best of the world, whichever sport you might be talking about. Talent, yeah, a lot of people have talent. Good support system, structure, training, coaching, yes, a lot of people have that. But that other ingredient that comes from within, well, we see that in Xia. Timeout taken. As this one feels like it's moving towards a conclusion, unless she can change things.
It's interesting, the Chinese coaches know that they can get anyone really to the very, very top level, and that's why they're looking for the personality more than anything at the early stages.
But we've seen a lot from this woman, haven't we? Okay, she might well go out in this semi-final. Looks as if she is going out in this semi-final, but already signs in only her second WTT Champions appearance that there's something about Xunyao.
Oh yeah, make no mistake, this 24-year-old is going places.
It's a quick look at where she's gone so far, which is to the semi-final, but of course there is a final later on today, which it looks very much is going to see Yingsha going in search of her 7th WTT Champions title. Who will she face? Well, later on we'll bring you the second of those, Chen Xintong and Wang Yidi, in a, yep, you called it yesterday, grudge match, rematch of that extraordinary epic final in WTT Champions in Chun earlier on this year, which saw Wang Yidi come from nowhere to snatch the crown there away from Tong Tong. That's for later. For now, though, an uphill task for Xunyao.
Yeah, it would be impossible really to call who will win our second women's singles semi-final, but I would be particularly interested to see Yingsha face Chen Xintong, because last time we saw Sun and the Chinese national team women in Japan, Chen Xintong defeated Yingsha at the finals in Fukuoka, and that was the first time Sun had lost before a quarter-finals at a WTT series event.
Remember, we were talking also about that incredible match in Chun. Wang Yidi overcame a 3-1 deficit. She saved 4 match points along the way before winning that one.
And she saved 2 in the first round here against Sabine Winter.
Oh my goodness. She was at 66.6. She's just upped it to 70.2, Xia here. Extraordinary numbers. We're quite deep into this match.
Oh, wow.
3.
Amazing shot tolerance there from Xunyao. Xia came firing out of the blocks, again pinning her into the crossover, trying to stitch her and stretch her. Just shadow playing to herself there, the world number one.
And of course, the other problem with taking on Xia in the final stages of a major event like this is adding to the aura of invincibility. Is even if you do win a point off her, it's followed by such a surge of support from the fans that you have to go again. That she's just been bolstered in terms of her confidence should she need it once more.
Well, all 6 times she's been in a Champions Final, she's won it.
Oh, wow.
Just
I'm kind of surprised, but not surprised.
Yeah. It's impressive for anyone to have that kind of statistic. We were looking at Xia's head-to-head against Hayato earlier, 16-0.
When the going gets tough, she gets going. She's got that ingredient that we spoke about a few minutes back. But this is very good from Su, who's just living with her, just hanging in there, 5-all. Remember, she's got to win all of the remaining games here in this semi-final. That's a huge ask, isn't it?
It really is. It would be a mammoth achievement to win 3 games in a row. She won 4 in a row against Kwaiman. But against Xia.
Yeah, it's their first ever international meeting, remember this, so it's not as if we're going to say, well, she's never done it before. I mean, she's just going to have to say, well, this is a first, and if I have to win it that way, so be it. Nothing there to hit.
She tried to tinsel it over the net, didn't she? So soft, shallow. Just missed it. I like the intention, though, there. She saw Yingsha prepared at the back of the table to play a shallower ball. Would have been good.
The sound effects there told you all you needed to know. Aggression and then the inability to recover.
Her backhand amazes me. It really, really amazes me.
Why?
Because it's so compact. And she uses quite a lot of body in her backhand compared to a lot of other players.
Ooh.
It's just so quick, you don't really notice it. But she does actually come in a little bit with the backhand. She's not completely square to the table when she plays it. And you can see the definition in both of these players' legs.
Yeah.
How strong they are.
8-6 up, serving. She's getting close now. And closer still. Absolutely no change in expression from Xunyao. No change in approach. And certainly no getting carried away.
Seven, 9.
There was that meaty backhand. Not the result this time, though.
Xunyao playing a protective backhand flick. When you take on a backhand flick from the forehand side against a fellow right-handed opponent, you either try and really, really go for a quick kill or you play a slower, spinnier one. Xunyao has barely had any surprise factor with her long serves. Sun has seen them coming from a mile away.
Do you hear the noise from Yingsha before and after that point? That happens for a reason, because she now has match points to advance to the final here in Yokohama.
Whoa!
She's there. What a point to finish this match off. SHI makes the final. And Fraser, as you've already told me, that's a place where she's oh so comfortable. How good was she today after dropping the first game?
She reeled off 4 games in a row. Absolutely incredible performance from Yingsha, swiping aside the world number 15. Congratulations, though, to Xunyao, who's massively upgraded since her debut in Montpellier. She's here to stay, Xunyao. We're going to see more of the 24-year-old, but it's this 24-year-old, the world number 1, who marches on to the women's singles final. And let's be honest, it is no surprise, John.
And the thing that will really scare whoever she plays in the final is that SHI's been given a serious workout early on today by her fellow Chinese player. She has had to produce some of her best play here, and now, of course, as she prepares for yet another WTT Champions final appearance, as she prepares to make it 16 WTT Series trophies won, she will be combining rest with preparation ahead of the final later today. Make no mistake, she was given a tough assignment here, a real challenge by the world number 15, who claimed the first 11-7, but then was unable to do anything about the Yingsha power play, the guile, everything she